Spoiler warning, guys. This is 100% necessary because this show contains one of the deepest narratives across any anime ever created. So, of course, I gotta give you guys a heads up. And with that said, now getting into High School DxD, we got our main character Issei, along with two of his other pals, which honestly, they're not really all that relevant and only appear in the first few episodes. So, why did I even mention it? And oh my god, I wonder who this is. And what is she doing? Oh, just taking a shower. Surely this will be the only time we'll be using the shower, right? Well, anyways, moving forward, we then got Issei over here meeting this one girl and instantly goes out on a date with her. Very realistic stuff. And oh my god, are you sure we're not watching Tokyo Ghoul? But no fear, the waifu is here to revive the main character. Definitely not plot armor whatsoever. And oh my god, he gets killed again. At this point, just isekai him to another world. So now moving forward once more, after having grade A plot armor, we then got our protagonist waking up to a very naked Rias. What was even the point of mentioning that? Following this day, we then got this very important meeting where we got a bunch of these main characters discussing the very serious and deep plot of High School DxD. And honestly, it was just so great that they did this because, you know, we gotta get that world building in. And I am 110% certain that everyone is here for the plot and nothing else. We then have Issei heading over to this one D-Gen's place for whatever reason. And oh my god, what a fucking weeb. Imagine being a loser who owns anime figures, manga, anime figures. Could not be me. And on his way home, Issei finds himself engaging with another threat. But this time our main protagonist has a weapon. And look at him flexing the dragon installed into his arm, making the enemy flee. Issei is so cool, man. Moving forward to the next day, we then bump into this one nun because this is indeed a very wholesome and Christian anime. And this nun is named Asia, or Asia. And oh my god, a crazy threat has appeared with nipple guns. And she attacks our main characters. What are we ever gonna do? Well, you know, that's nothing for my queen Akano, and she just one-taps her because she is indeed best girl. And anyone who thinks otherwise is just incorrect, and you need to get your life together. Just kidding. Every girl in High School DxD is best girl. And I'm definitely not saying that to prevent the comment section from going to absolute chaos. Well, anyways, with that said, we absolutely eradicate this one threat whose name I absolutely forgot about. But then again, she only appears in one episode, so I mean, oh well. And who's this goofball? And what's this dude doing to my nun? But all is good because we got the whole squad pulling up. And what's this? We just dip without Asia? Well, we didn't need her anyways. And oh look, she's actually fine. We then forget about what happened and end up going on a date with her, learning more about her lore, which was so very interesting that I had to just go out of my way to pop a bag of popcorn to listen to the story. And what's this? Another threat appears, and it happens to be Issei's ex who had 7 minutes of screen time, and she vanishes with Asia. Well, we didn't need her anyways, right? But it seems the main characters thought otherwise and go out on a rescue mission to save her, where they end up encountering this one dude, which Issei proceeds to fist him and Konako throwing a chair at him, which after taking that bit of damage, the threat then throws down a flashbang and retreats. And right here we see Asia being useless and getting shocked by a dog collar. Woof woof. And then right here we just got more random fighting for whatever reason. But at the end of the day, Asia is saved. Hooray. Moving forward, we then got this very important training arc with Rias and our main character, which is honestly getting me in the mood to just get up out of my seats and go train myself. And oh wow, we got Rias waking up naked next to our main character again. Definitely something worth mentioning. And now moving a little bit more forward, we then got our main characters engaging in a gang war, which then leads to this very epic tennis match. And this scene was just so legendary and serves a great importance to the story. Then we do a little bit of yoga. And why, you may ask? Well, we're getting ready for some festival fun, where Issei gets a little bit of that CBT treatment. Very cool. And now moving forward, after enjoying that festival fun, the main characters then head to this place for a familiar of sorts, and we find this one old scrub here to guide them. And oh wow, it's raining slime, which apparently the slime disintegrates clothes. I don't get why something like this would exist in this anime. And oh hey, they end up finding this very cool looking dragon familiar, which ends up having a total of 1 minute of screen time, so very worth it. And now we got Issei and Rias' wedding, and this may be a little bit sudden because it turns out it was just a wet dream, on which Issei decides to check out his hand, just like Shinji when he heads to his local hospital. We then proceed to have another slice of life day at school, because this is indeed a slice of life anime, and we even got this very silly moment with Issei and his boys peeping in the girls' locker room. This is an idea that's very original and only exists in this anime, and it seems Koneko senses their power level and gives them a good fisting. Moving forward, we then head back to Issei's room, on which he then finds a naked nun in his bathroom. This is where things get spicy, and Issei's mommy says, "Can I join?" Which honestly, the more the merrier. Moving a little bit more forward, as our main characters are just chilling, we then got this one bad guy Riser appearing out of nowhere, and he's looking to yoink and marry Rias. And then here we have to talk more about the lore of the families or whatever, which honestly, very, very important stuff. Then we are introduced to the rating game to resolve the dispute with the marriage. Basically how this goes is if Rias' team wins, she gets no marriage, but if Riser's team wins, he gets to marriage her. So with that said, the rating game is officially on, and Riser and his squad dips right after making out with his 4th wife. So to get prepared for this event, Issei and his squad then go hiking for some training or some shit, and you all already know what's up. It's not a real anime without a training arc. But where's the obligatory beach episode at? Anyways, we then got Issei and his boyfriend sword fighting, and oh my god, what is this unholy camera angle? We then got this training session with Koneko, and Issei getting his neck snapped. Then we got a little bit of cooking and a little bit of eating. Definitely the relaxing slice of life I signed up for. And it seems we got a bathhouse scene. This is a scene we need in all anime, and I'm sure this this is definitely the last time we'll be seeing it for the remainder of this video. Well, anyways, back to the serious stuff. And here we go once again talking about the very deep and incredibly interesting lore of High School DxD, which I'll be sure to pass down to my kids. We then have Rias over here with a nightgown that's transparent. I'm sure this is just an error from the animators and they didn't mean to do this. Following this training arc, we now start the game to determine whether or not our waifu gets taken. We then got this full-blown war going on with Konako with this one girl, Issei against two lollies with chainsaws, and with the power of plot, Issei acquires his W by mass stripping them. This is definitely a very conventional way of winning fights. And just as things are looking good, Konako ends up stepping on a landmine and dying. So now continuing with the rating game, what in the Fate Unlimited Blade Works is happening here? And oh my god, my queen! We then got our main character going up against the final boss Riser, and yeah, he gets absolutely destroyed. And just as he's about to get finished off, Rias throws in the towel, stopping the fight and accepting the L, really making this whole experience worth our time and not a waste whatsoever. He's the main character, you literally just had to wait for him to power up. But anyways, we now got Rias and Riser preparing for the wedding, and oh look, everyone's here gathered around for this very special event. But it seems the main character was like nah, and crashes the party like a scrub, challenging Riser once more for a rematch because he just can't accept defeat. So they end up doing this 1v1 just like the good old days on Nuketown, and after pouring some of God's semen on Riser to stun him, Issei then follows up and delivers the final blow, getting his queen back. But at the end of the day, she's not really best girl, so why do we even care, right? Whoops, I don't think I was supposed to read that part of the script. Moving forward to the next season, we then got Issei waking up to a spoonful of opie next to him, and here we got the whole family together for a nice breakfast. Because at the end of the day, this is a family-friendly slice of life anime. And what's she gonna do to his finger? Oh, she's just giving him a hand massage. Well, anyways, moving forward past that, we're now back at Issei's house, and here's Issei's mom showing everyone pictures of Issei naked as a little kid. Definitely something, very normal. And why are they so happy? And oh hey, it's a cute anime girl. Oh, and it seems we got a Dark Souls battle now. And oh, another bathhouse scene. Moving forward, we then have Issei and Asuya heading back home, and here they're greeted with Zenobia and Irina, who just happen to invite themselves. And they then have this very serious business meeting, where we learn that the 6 remaining Excaliburs have been kept by 3 divisions of the church, and 3 of those have been stolen by fallen angels. I literally explained that all in my own words, and I did not read a subtitle. This is where the plot thickens, and we have some beef with Zenobia, which we then bring it outside to settle it, and oh my god, it was just so very intense. The most intense fight I've ever seen across any anime. Like, we got Asuya and Konako's clothes flying off for whatever reason, and Issei getting punished for his actions, which sends him to space. And with them losing, Rias and all of them now have the responsibility to retrieve the holy swords that the fallen angels have stolen. Imagine being the main character and losing like that. How could that be possible? We then got another bad scene with Zenobia and Irina, which is very important. And then we got some nice, relaxing, slice of life moments here, with them thinking about how to find the swords. Followed up with this one tragic backstory with Issei's boyfriend and how Rias saves him, but he's just a side character after all, so why do we even care, right? And what's this? Another bat scene? How clean do you gotta be? We then have Asuya over here randomly in a nurse suit. This is not fan service whatsoever because she's simply just trying to cosplay as Nurse Joy. So anyways, now moving forward, we now have them all gathering together to go on this mission to retrieve those legendary swords, wearing fucking fedoras. And right here we have threat number 1 appearing with a sword, but he ends up flashbanging everyone and escaping. What a meaningful interaction and a great use of our time. And here we got Koneko getting a little spanking from Rias. And she's not alone because Issei gets a good spanking as well. God, I wish that was me. Then out of nowhere, we then have this very wholesome cooking session because once again, I gotta remind you all, this is a slice of life anime. Meanwhile, we got Irina over here getting rolled. What a useless character she is. And we got threat number 1 appearing once again, along with threat number 2. Oh god, I'm scared. But before we get into any action, let's talk about the lore once more, which honestly, I'm very grateful for, because the more we learn about the lore, the greater the lore will be. And look at this dude self-reporting, telling everyone that he got all 3 of the swords. Then we got threat number 2 stepping in, and he ends up dropping a nuke, which only does damage to clothing, and it seems 1 wasn't enough, and the dude drops another nuke on everyone, and everyone dies. The end. Oh wait, everyone's still alive. And we got threat number 1 back, and he ends up using the Shadow Clone Jutsu, which was honestly pointless because he just dies from Issei's foot. And then we got threat number 3 pulling up out of nowhere and getting taken out by threat number 2. But like, who was he? Then right here we got Rias going Super Saiyan and shooting a blast at the last remaining threat, which does absolutely nothing at all, and she flops on the floor. And this is why Akuno's best girl, because she zaps the threat with ease. And also does nothing, but like, let's not talk about it, because right here we just got nothing but incredible animation. So with everyone failing trying to take down this one threat, Konako then tries to make her attempt and tries to sit on him, but I guess that just doesn't work. Unfortunate. This is where Issei's boyfriend tries to step up and takes a few pages out of One Piece and reps the 3-sword technique, successfully landing a hit. And oh my god, Fizz. We then got our main character's meter going to overdrive, but this is where threat number 4 makes an appearance, who happens to be the white dragon or fantasy dragon named Albion. And who is Albion, you may ask? Well, glad you asked. Albion is one of the 2 heavenly dragons and the arch rival of Drake. He is called the White Dragon, also known as the fantasy dragon Albion Guiber, White Dragon Emperor, and White Dragon Emperor of Supremacy. He is currently residing in the Longinus, the Divine Dividing, Will Divide Volley, Lucifer. And this is definitely something I didn't take straight from Google. And what's this? We got threat number 2 getting obliterated by threat number 4? So I guess he's not really a threat. And shortly after, he dips. So, what now? I guess with all the threats defeated, and with them retrieving all the swords back, I guess everything's all good now. And now we can return back to our wholesome slice of life. Moving forward, going back to the main character fun club room, we then have Zenobia getting recruited to the team, and Irina left forever alone. Certainly she's not coming back to the series, right? We then get some very cool slice of life moments here, where we have them cleaning a whole swimming pool. So while everyone's cleaning the pool, Issei and Akano are having a little bit of a bonding session here, nothing too special. Then we have the swimming Olympics afterwards, with Rias and Akano, and they really outdid themselves with the animation here. Following that, we then have some random explosions, and it's definitely not caused by the harem fighting over Issei, because that would be absurd. Moving forward, who the f is this guy? Well, it turns out to be Volley, the White Dragon Emperor, aka threat number 4, aka the person that saved all of them. And with him being there, the whole squad pulls up on him, but that was unnecessary to mention because absolutely nothing happened here. And oh, I wonder what these things are. Oh my god, she said the thing! And how many baths do we have to take? And would you look at that? We got a nice family dinner here, a very important plot point worth mentioning, and just look at how good anime food looks. Moving forward, we now have this one door on which they unlock, freeing what it seems to be a vampire lolly. And oh, it's a trap. They don't make many of these in our modern day anime, and I miss this shit. They then undergo a little bit of a training arc with this newly recruited member to their team, Gasper, and they end up playing a little bit of volleyball with him, attaching an umbilical cord to his brain. We then get a little bit of Gasper's tragic backstory, and oh wow, another bathing session. Following this, we then stroll through a shrine with Akano, and it seems we got Michael, the leader of angels, appearing out of nowhere, showing off his Dragon Slayer sword, and here Issei absorbs it. Why does he want to be Chainsaw Man so bad? Shortly after that interaction, Michael, the leader of the angels, dips. It was nice knowing you, dude. And this leaves Akano and Issei to, oh, and here we got Issei having a sleepover with Rias and Akano. Definitely nothing absurd or crazy happens here at all. Oh yeah, and Asya joins in too, because she always invites herself to everything. Moving forward, we then got this meeting with everyone talking about some very important stuff. And while this is happening, we got a very intense airspace here with angels, devils, and fallen angels getting ready for World War VI. But luckily, we have them all talking about making a peace treaty, which sounds pretty nice. But just as they were negotiating that, we got some threats pulling up with black cloaks. I'm so very scared right now. And they end up attacking Konako and Gasper, who were away from the meeting, and they both end up getting captured. We then got more threats pulling up and crashing the meeting, shooting beams from their foreheads. And while that's happening, everyone is just enjoying the fireworks. Volley then volunteers and just wipes out the threats clean out of the sky. And then we got some more crazy action here, taking out more enemies with ease, with their main motive to revolutionize the world as it is. But they're the bad guys, so how do they even expect themselves to win? Issei and Rias then arrive where Konako and Gasper are, and here we got Issei tossing over some blood to Gasper, who happens to be a vampire, just like Casper. Oh wait, Casper is a ghost. And this pretty much pack punches him, letting him take care of the threats with ease, using the ReZero Unseen Hands. And of course, to top it off, Issei uses his dress break ability, which is definitely something I could show, and why isn't it showing on screen right now? And right here, we got a little bit more fighting with some minions, very cool, and then some more fighting with some minions, eventually clearing them up. And this is where Volley decides to talk some shit to our main character, saying, if you don't fight me, I'll just kill your parents. Very reasonable. And this is where Issei transforms out of pure anger, tearing up thinking about anime titties, and dominating him. Volley was then like, well, that was good enough, I guess, and dips like the very nice antagonist that he is. And with all this fighting said and done, they then all agreed to sign this peace treaty, because peace is nice. We then got Asya over here trying to include herself once more. What a complete abomination. And then we got this one dude becoming the advisor of the main character fun club, which, what was his name again? I don't know, but we do know he's a character. Moving forward, we then got them all going on a field trip on this flying dragon themed bullet train thing. I don't know what it is, but they're playing some cards, while Gasper is over here in the corner playing Monster Hunter World on the PSP. And as they are riding the magic school bus, they then get placed into a Halo Forge world where everything despawns around them, including the bus, which makes everyone fall to the ground, which they then get attacked by a very scary dragon. But soon after, he stops attacking them because it turns out this was just all a prank Rias set up for them. Ha ha ha. And oh wow, another bathing scene for both men and women. And Gasper. We then have everyone going to Rias' house, where they are greeted by a bunch of maids, and we even get to meet Rias' mom, who has large mommy milkers, as well as Rias' dad, who has a fat cock. They then just have a nice wholesome meal here, and right after that, Issei goes to bed like his Minecraft, along with a few other girls joining him. But nothing crazy happens here that's worth mentioning, right? Because this is High School DxD after all, the cleanest anime on the planet. Moving forward, we now have another training arc, where all our main characters are doing some sort of training. We got Akano training with her Father of the Year father, Rias reading books because knowledge is power, Issei training with that one dragon that attacked them earlier, Issei's boyfriend doing some hardcore training like the absolute Chad that he is, Konako attempting the Saitama challenge, as well as training for her next UFC match, Zenobia on lumberjack duty, and Gasper fighting the hardest battle of all, social anxiety. And oh yeah, we got Asya doing her thing over here. They then all get together for a ceremony of sorts, and oh my god, it seems we have a little bit of drama here. And to put the cherry on top, it seems Konako ran off to some place and nobody knows, on which Issei and Rias go and search for her. And by some miracle, they find her with her her older sister, who's also a cat girl. I don't know what you expected. And here we then have this one guy with a stick appearing out of nowhere, taking on Rias and Issei. Meanwhile, at the ceremony area, we got this one dude appearing out of nowhere, built like a whole ass Yu-Gi-Oh character, labeling himself as the Norse god, Loki. He then resumes to summon one of his wolves in attack mode, but they just simply sealed his one scrub away, along with his Pokemon. So why did I even bother to mention that? Well, anyways, back to Rias's and Issei's POV. With the power of poking Opais, Issei gets a power up, and it seems he could do some serious damage here. But he stops like the pussy main protagonist that he is, and he even allows him to retreat into the nether portal. But hey, at least we got silly old Koneko back, and more importantly, you gotta stay squeaky clean. Moving forward, we got Loki over here just chilling, and Issei and a bunch of other characters warp to his location, where they see this magical pyramid in the distance, and it happens that he wasn't actually sealed away, and he frees himself. Here he summons 3 of his wolves in attack mode, along with a dragon crocodile snake hybrid thing, and with the power of friendship and the power of teamwork, they managed to send the crocodile snake along with the wolves to the graveyard. And here Loki decides to be an OP villain and uses a whole ass full map attack, literally spamming the shit back to back. And oh god, I think we forgot about this dog. R.I.P. Issei. And it seems we got all these characters just crying around him. But how do they not understand that he's the main character? And oh wow, he comes back to life? That's crazy. And on the battlefield, we then have Koneko's sister pulling up, as well as this guy with glasses who is a part of the volley team. They then soon after dip. So what was even the point of mentioning that? And now Issei got Thor's hammer. What is even going on here? We then got everyone binding together, and using the incredible power of friendship, they attempt to gangbang this boss battle. And it seems their efforts were a success, because Issei hammers the fuck out of Loki's balls, ending his career. Then we got the handsome Chad Cyrock pulling up. And I really had to mention this because just look at how handsome he is. Moving forward, Issei and his squad leaves Rias' place, traveling back on that classic magic school bus. And now back home, returning back to some slice of life, we got Issei doing some homework. And here's where Akeno comes in with some snackies. And while doing so, she then asks Issei out on a date, on which they do go out, while the other waifus in the harem get cucked. We then got some very awkward drama between Akeno and her dad, and Issei was just like, We then get hit up by this very tragic backstory, with Akeno's mom taking an L, and Akeno getting picked up by Rias-sama. And here we got Akeno debating Issei with some food. Why couldn't it be me? Moving forward, we then have Irina coming back to the show and joining Issei's school, as well as the main character fun club. We then proceed to have a nice slice of life segment here, where Asuya and Issei are walking around town, doing some groceries, and peep these Skechers, man. Soon after, they then bump into Diadora, on which he then kisses Asuya's hand and proposes to her, creating a very realistic scenario that happens in everyday society. We are then brought to Issei's house, where they all have a nice family dinner, disregarding that event ever took place. And right here, we got cat girls doing cat things. Is this how Discord kittens be like? We then got Issei and Asuya in the gym's equipment room, and here's where Zenobia pulls up and locks them all in. And I don't know why she would do this, and with the nature of this very Christian anime, I'm sure nothing really takes place here. And what's this? We got some more plot being introduced to my family-friendly slice-of-life anime, and apparently there's gonna be another rating game that's gonna take place. And for the first round, Issei's squad is going up against Diadora's, and if they win, they'll go up against the Giga Chat Cyrock squad next. And as they are discussing the matter, we then have Diadora randomly pulling up down bad, saying that he's willing to exchange one of his bishops for Asuya. And while doing so, he holds her hand and simps like the respectable and nice character that he is. So anyways, with the rating game now set in motion, we then have this completely necessary and important cosplay party, because why not? And so now moving forward to the rating game, we then have our characters warping to the battlefield, and here they are greeted by a bunch of devils spawning around them, almost like it's an ambush. And the thirsty Diadora yoinks Asuya and dips, leaving his minions to attack them all, which there seems to be endless waves of them, because they just keep coming back like they're respawning. And now instead of playing the rating game, we then play Diadora's game to get Asuya back, which has now turned this game into a dire situation. And you see, this is what I don't get, man. People call High School DxD like, oh, it's just a shameless fan service anime. But like, are you even watching the same show? Look at this absolutely insane turn of events. Idiots, man. We then got threat number 1 making a reappearance, laughing like a fucking hyena before transforming into a boss battle. And here we have the Asuya reveal, with her being useless as ever. Issei then goes Super Saiyan before rocking Diadora not once, but twice. What a little bit. We then rescue Asuya once again, like, can you stop getting kidnapped? But just as things are looking peaceful, she then gets warped into the Shadow Realm and out of existence. Quite unfortunate if you ask me. We then got Shalba Beelzebub making his appearance. What the fuck is even that name? And here he erases Diadora from existence, like the peasant villain that he is. And apparently he was the one who erased Asuya. This made Rias very angry, Zenobia very angry, but they really couldn't do jack shit. So I think they should just take a seat while the main character does everything. And right here we got Issei going through some despair, allowing him to enter Super Saiyan 3, which he then takes on this threat in a 1v1, boostoing into overdrive, and simply hyper beams him to death. Well, that was anticlimactic. And oh look, Asuya's fine. And while Asuya's over there in the corner being fine, Issei is over here still going berserk, on which Rias then Togno Jutsu's Issei back to normal, an anime classic, and we got everyone staring at Issei, telling him congratulations. The Dragon of Dragons then appears here. What a big boy. We then got a bro fist, and just before returning home, Issei passes out with his own arm all shriveled up like he failed No Nut November. We then got Issei laying down like going after his fight with Pito, and Asuya comes over and heals him, for once actually being useful. And god damn it, you gotta stay squeaky clean. Moving forward, we then got this one white hair girl introduced to the series. Not entirely sure if she's relevant, but she's a pro vacuumer. And on the other end of things, we got Issei over here coming in contact with an imposter of himself, and we get some nice juicy NTR action here with the sinister looking Rias. Soon after, the Issei imposter just blows up the entire place, just causing unnecessary destruction. And now we got everyone in this room talking about this one dude named Loki, aka the scrub from earlier, and they plan on breaking Loki's seal to find out where Rias' location is, because apparently she went MIA, and their best guess is that she's in the dimensional gap, whatever that is. And why is Asuya and Rias always causing problems, man? And so Issei then goes to see Volley, on which Volley transfers him to the dimensional gap for the rescue mission to save Rias. And oh hey, there's Rias, but it seems she has friendly fire on, and she fires back at them. We then got everyone trying to fight Rias and put her down, and even tried the classic Takano Jutsu on her, which seemed to have worked, I guess, because she then transforms into the Booba Dragon. And with that said, Issei transforms as well, and while this whole fight is happening, everyone else just gets sucked into this black hole because the writer just does not care for them. And oh my god, Rias and Issei then just have this very intense fight, greater than any other fight you've ever witnessed in anime, and it all ends with a simple Takano Jutsu. And now Rias is back to normal. We then got the Issei imposter making his appearance once more and faces off with the real Issei, and here's where Issei transforms into Blastoise and uses Hydro Pump, defeating him with one blast. So what was even the point of that fight? Then we got the Dragon of Dragons appearing once more. What is even your purpose? Issei and Rias then randomly spawn on a beach for whatever reason, and they then have this very romantic moment, but we don't care. And so we return back home with everyone waking up in Issei's bed. Some average main character activity here, and we got that one vacuum girl from before making her appearance once again, and apparently she just becomes a devil and joins the main character fun club, but like who even is she? And now we got Issei on television teaching children about the greatness of Oppai. Definitely nothing odd about that. And so we now have the epilogue for the 3rd season before entering. What the fuck happened to the art style and these physics? Oh my god. But hey, at least they're playing Oppai Dragon on the projector. Moving forward, we then got this lovely 1v1 with Issei and the Giga Chad himself, Cyrog. And it seems Issei couldn't hold his ground much, and this dude's punches are even penetrating the barrier above them. So put in this predicament, Issei then makes a request to Rias if you could just get a crumb of Oppai, and she gets flustered. Not only did the studio change the art style, how the f do you change the characters' personalities too? And here's where Cyrog was like, nah, I'm done with this bullshit. I'm heading out. I'll see you guys in the upcoming rating game. So moving forward, we then got everyone heading on a trip to Kyoto, leaving Rias, Akano, and Konako behind, because I guess they're not really important characters. And on this bullet train, we got a whole lot of nothing. So what a productive ride we got here. And they finally arrive at the destination, where they see this one groper zombie NPC. What is even the point of this? And look, Kyoto Tower, a real life place that exists in real life. Crazy. We then end up having a nice little slice of life segment here, where they go to this one shrine. And here we got Issei wishing to the gods that he becomes the Harem King, which is 100% reasonable, because this is just like how Asta and Yuno wishes to become the Wizard King. We then got this one schizo fox girl pulling up and yelling at him to bring back her mother, and soon after Issei gets jumped. Oh my god. And coincidentally, this is where Issei's harem pulls up to save him, on which the fox girl sends out more of her minions, and after letting them fight for a bit, they then just retreat. Okay, and here's another very necessary and important bathing scene, and now we got everyone having a dinner and chatting about things, followed up with some more very important slice of life in Kyoto. And when night strikes, they then meet up with that one fox girl once again, and she says, my bad for trying to kill you. This is where she suddenly requests that they save her mother, on which Issei accepts because he got the mommy milkers on his mind. And right here we got another bathing scene with characters that aren't even included in this arc, and now we're stuck in a closet. Not entirely sure what they're doing here, but I'm sure with this being High School DxD, nothing really happens here. Moving forward, we then have some more slice of life in Kyoto with this lolly fox girl tagging along, and after traveling a good bit, we got some dude who went to Photoshop and turned everything black and white, and then we got some mist appearing around them, and oh god, we got some threats appearing. What are we gonna do? And apparently they're the ones that took the fox girl's mother, and so we then get a little bit of crazy action going on here, and even the colossal titan comes out of nowhere, and what the fuck is even going on my screen? We then got the enemies retreating, saying the signature line, we shall meet again. And then we now got this group meeting talking about some very important stuff, possibly a game plan, but who knows. And once again we got Issei saying he wants to become the harem king, and I mean he's already establishing that by having a lolly fox girl on his back, so way to go Issei. They then continue to search for the fox girl's mother, and here's where Issei bumps into a level 1 AI, and with him being the main character, he takes out the threat with one punch. What a great use of our time. And here we got these gates opening up, and they encounter the fox girl's mother accompanied by some bad guys, and oh my god, the mom goes berserk and transforms into a giant nine-tailed fox. Insert Naruto reference here. This one dude who is friendly then randomly pulls up and transforms into the snake with tentacles and faces off with the nine tails. And right here we got Rias, Akano, and Konako preparing for another bathing scene. Just some casual, relevant information, okay? And back to the fight. We then got the Ninetales having some fun with some tentacles. And what in the CG is going on here? We then got Issei summoning Rias to the battlefield for whatever reason. And after getting a little jab into her Opie and sending her back into the stratosphere, he gets the power-up that he needed and claps the threat with one shot. What a surprise. And who summoned Shenron? We then got this one other threat getting clapped by Wukong, and both of these threats retreat after wasting everyone's time. But I guess we should be happy because the Ninetales is taken care of, and using the highly technical Tagno Jutsu strat, the Fox Girl's mother gets turned back to normal. Definitely nothing cliche about that at all, and it's very original. And with that said, Issei and his squad heads back home, but on his way back, we have him crying on the train because he forgot to ask to experience the mommy milkers. How very unfortunate. And now we move on to the Hatsune Miku concert that we all were anticipating, and oh, they're just playing Opie Dragon in front of a bunch of children. And now moving forward, we got everyone training for the highly anticipated raiding game. And look at the high quality animation and art here, man. Should be putting Affordable and Mappa to shame. But anyways, now moving to the main event, we then got everyone sitting around like NPCs awaiting the event. And here we got the press conference, which was so very interesting. And again, what the f did they do to my dominant and alpha female Rias? And here we get a little bit of a saucy moment between Rias and Issei, but she ends up running away because he calls her president instead of Rias. Bro, ain't no way she this soft now. Well, anyways, now heading to the raiding game, we got Rias over here still acting like a scrub. I guess mood swings are a thing. And then we got a bunch of dialogue, which is actually important, but I'm too lazy to explain. So now we start the game, and we just have a bunch of fighting back to back to back to back to back to back. And eventually, many people took L's, many people took W's, but we're not here for that because we're only here for the main event involving our main character. And here we got Issei facing the final boss, the Giga Chad himself, Cyrog. And while he takes him on, Rias takes on this one scrubby lion. But of course, here we go with her being a burden. What's new? And Issei had to give her a potion and pretty much just 2v1 this whole thing, eventually going into his very epic Super Dragon transformation mode. And oh my god, this fight is just so intense. And would you look at that, the main character actually wins. I'm so perplexed right now. And with that said, we then got this random school festival to close off the anime, and Issei getting non-stop slapped by this one no-name female student. God, I wish this was me. We then got this one dance in front of a fire that appears in every single anime, and oh wow, Issei confesses to Rias, which ultimately leads to a finishing smooch, but who cares, right?